Hi, I'm Dan Hernandez. I'd like to welcome you to this week's episode of Sport Fishing. But today we're fishing aboard the Icon, and I got a fish here. What do I got? Oh, I got a Sculpin. And this is what we're doing today. We're fishing hard bottom out here, 3/4 day trip. Fishing, this is a magic metal jig, nice Sculpin. We'll be looking for Sculpin, lingcod, salmon grouper. You never know what to expect. Nice fish there, magic metal jig. Well, stay tuned for this week's exciting episode of Sport Fishing. Welcome to Sport Fishing with Dan Hernandez. Sport Fishing is brought to you by Shakespeare, manufacturers of the Ugly Stick, Cajun Red Fishing Line, Fluger, quality rods and reels, Cabela's, America's foremost outfitter, Game Saver for preserving all your game and fish, and Blue Cross of California Foundation. This is Rudy, the skipper's son, Sean's son. He was out with us when, how old were you last time? Like 5 or something? 5? That was years ago.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got this time.
Now I'm 9 years old.
Now you're 9 years old? Ooh, you're getting old now.
I know I'm
Ooh,
old.
there you go. Nice red. All right. Nice fish, Rudy.
It's good. Enough. Hook up on the iPhone. That's a good one.
Yes, like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a fish. Yeah! Got a fish. Oh, hey, 31? Yeah.
All right, double. Remember, only 5 guys. Yeah. I got lucky. I got lucky.
Man, it's giving me little scope.
Yeah.
Hooked up again.
Nice Sculpin.
Sculpin number 3.
Think of this like the biggest one on the day, dude. Ooh. Cut it out.
That's a pretty good size, huh? Look at that.
Too long. Yeah. Nice and red. Red one. See, they're having something to eat down there, something good. That's what a Sculpin looks like. Big one. Alright. See ya.
Michael's got one. I got one. Oh, nice Sculpin. Nice Sculpin.
Open.
All right, Michael. Okay, Michael's got a Sculpin there. Got that on the squid. I got a fish on this. I think I got it on a B52. Let's see what I'm fishing with here. I got a fluger reel, Shakespeare ugly stick rod, Cajun red line, and just working that bucktail right on the bottom, just bouncing it. Ooh, a big old seal. Let's see what I got here. This is Tyler, one of the deckhands. His dad owns a boat, runs the boat. Fished with him about 5 years ago. Now he's working the deck.
Nice.
Oh, nice Sculpin. Big old Sculpin. This is a glow-in-the-dark B52 6-ounce model. And it had some of the magic strips on there and some other squid. Nice, big, beautiful fish. Nice fish, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a little break from the action. We'll visit the tackle box, show you the rods and reels and gear that we're using for this type of fishing. This week, the tackle box is brought to you by Cabela's, America's foremost outfitters. This week in the tackle box, I want to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing today. we're targeting sculpin. When you're fishing sculpin, you got fish right on the bottom. These fish live right on the rocks, right hanging on the bottom, different ledges, sometimes wrecks, reefs, you never know, but you gotta fish them against hard bottom all the time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off fishing with them with bucktail jigs. Bucktail is a great way, it's kind of an old school lure, but it's really a great lure to use when you're targeting bottom dwellers, especially fish like sculpin, they really like it. So what we can start off with the rods and reels is an International pin. It's a 965 reel. It's a great reel to use for this type of fishing. 20-pound test Cajun red line is what I recommend to put on there. And this rod is the Ugly Stick Custom rod, Dan Hernandez model, made by Shakespeare. It's a great rod to use. It's an inshore rod, and it works fine for this type of fishing. I have the pistol grip on here in case you want to make a cast. You don't have to normally sculpin fishing. You'll be fishing right over structure, but it just makes it comfortable for working the rod all day. Now, if you want something a little bit lighter, you can go with the spinning reel. This is the 560 by Penn. It's got a bait runner feature, which you use mainly for live bait. You can also use it with the bucktail. It's a light rod, Ugly Stick Custom, Dan Hernandez model, and it's a spinning rod. So for new anglers, or if you just want to downsize your tackle, spinning rod's a great way to go. Now, because we are fishing sculpin, one of my favorite baits for them is the bucktail. Now, you can get bucktails in different sizes. These B52s come as small as a ½ ounce and all the way up to 6 ounces. For today's type of fishing, think about 1 ounce model to like a 4 ounce model. The glow-in-the-dark color is great to use first thing in the morning and last light, and that bucktail really attracts the fish. This is what I would probably start off with. Depending on the depth and the current, you can go up to a heavier model, like I said, up to 4 ounces. And this one here is a 2 ounce model, works good for that. As it pulses through the water, it really, that bucktail just pops and attracts the fish. So when you're looking for them in your store, this is the B52 bucktail jig. Find your local tackle store. You can find them on our website. The other thing I would do with the bucktail is add a little strip of fish on there, a piece of squid. If you don't have any with you, you can pick up some of the magic strips. What's great about these is that they're preserved in shrimp and crab oil, and because they've already been processed, you don't have to refrigerate them. You can use them, put them back in the bag, reuse them. That's a great deal about these magic strips. They work great. You'll catch lots of fish with them. Well, let's get back on the water and show you more exciting action right here on Sport Fishing.
Squid. Usually catch the sculpin all winter long. Fish rockfish, sculpin, groupers, lingcod, all through the months of March, April, May, and then we start fishing our surface fish June, July, August. And during the summer we catch the bass, barracuda, yellowtail, stuff like that. But since the sculpin are biting, that's what we're fishing today, and they're biting. Huh, Rudy?
Yeah.
All right. Sculpin behind.
The spot you have us on, we're not quite the 150, but where are we?
We're actually at the 150, the middle 150. Fishing, it's 150 feet here. A bunch of little rock piles, all in a little area, probably about an 8-mile area. And you catch all kinds of rockfish. You catch the reds, the chuckleheads, the sculpin, and a few groupers and lingcods. You know, quite a bit.
A nice big variety.
Yeah.
And later in the year, would even yellowtail and barracuda come through this area
Yeah,
sometimes?
this is a good area for yellows. There's a lot of bull kelp towards the east, and certain times there are yellows and the barracuda mount up in this area also.
Now, what's the schedule for your boat now?
We run 8 o'clock year round, 8 to 5, and it's $48. We do also charters.
So most of the time you're open party?
Yeah, most of the time we're open party 7 days a week. Make sure you call down at Bird 55 to make sure that we're not chartered.
Yeah, like today's trip is a charter that we have through the TV show. We have several more charters this year, fishing with Sean aboard the Icon. You can check our website. We'll be running Sean's number at the end of the show. Thanks for having us out.
All right, Dan.
Let's take a little break from the action. We're going to visit the galley and show you how to cook up these rockfish and the sculpin that we're catching today. This week, the galley is brought to you by Dan Hernandez Baja-style fish batter and dipping sauces. This week in the galley, I want to talk to you a little bit about cooking up sculpin. Sculpin's one of those fish you don't find in the store. You have to go out and catch them. And they're delicious fish. And a lot of people stay away from cooking them because they're poisonous fish, so they're afraid of them. And this is what they look like, the skin's on them. This one's already been filleted, but it's just nice white meat, and it tastes really good. So what we're going to start off first is cook up a little bit of vegetables. We got some peas, some asparagus, so put a little bit of oil in a hot pan. Now I've cheated a little bit. I've already microwaved these, so they're cooked a lot, so we don't have to spend a lot of time here cooking them. Peas in there. We're just going to pan fry these for a little bit. You can stir fry them, it works out fine. If you want, you can add a little bit of pepper, salt to it to taste. I usually kind of stay away from that. Okay, the asparagus and the peas are pretty well done here. So I'm just going to add some bell pepper on here. I like the taste of bell pepper, and plus I like the color. So it adds a nice color to it, nice contrast. So we'll just let this cook really fast. You can already see the peas changing colors. Okay, now what we want to do, we got this pretty well done. We'll transfer this over to a plate, and we'll put our fish in here. Now, I'm going to start off with a little bit of olive oil. Pan's already hot from cooking the vegetables. And we're just going to drop our sculpin in here. And we're not going to cook it very long. The small pieces like this will cook really fast. And again, sculpin is just a really nice white meat. If you don't feel comfortable handling them on the boat because the spines on them and the poison on the outside of the fish, have the crew handle it for you. But if you're careful with them, you know, you don't have to really worry about it. And I've been stung many times. It just feels like a really bad bee sting. It won't, you know, it won't hurt you that bad. You can already see it changing color here. So we'll go ahead and just flip this over. And what I like to do always when cooking fish is add a little bit of lemon and a little bit of lime. The acids in there cook the fish and just adds to the flavor. It doesn't take long to cook the sculpin. See how nice and white it gets? Okay, when this is all done, all we're going to do is just lay this on top of the vegetables. Okay, this side's done, so I'm going to flip it over. Again, I'm just going to touch it up with a little bit more lime and lemon. That's done. That looks so good. So all we're going to do now, take our fish, drop it right on top of the vegetables. And you have a really nice, healthy meal. And it's a great tasting fish. You're really going to like this. It'll taste wonderful. Now, if you want to kick it up a notch, you can go ahead and add one of my dipping sauces. I really like the wasabi for fish like this. You can just put it on the edge and dip it in there. It works good. And I'll just take a little bite. Just sculpin, some vegetables. Nice easy dish. What I like this, you get the crunchiness of the vegetables, the texture, like the bell peppers, and that whitefish just tastes so good. As you can see, we didn't add a lot to it. Very healthy plate to have. Just top it off with some of the dipping sauce. It tastes really great. Well, let's get back on the water and show you more exciting action right here on Sport Fishing. This week's tip of the week is brought to you by Magic Metal Jigs and Bucktail Jigs. For this week's tip of the week, I want to talk to you a little bit about bottom fishing like this, fishing for the sculpin, fishing for the red snapper. A lot of people, when they're putting bait onto their hook, make the mistake of taking a big piece of bait and just pinning it on and cluttering up that hook so the fish can't get to it. And if you do something like this, there's no way you're going to get bit. So what you want to do is use a strip of squid. Now the crew's been cutting up squid all day long, so we have a strip here. Just grab a little strip, pin it on there once, twice, and it should just dangle like that. That way when it gets in the current and moves around, it looks attractive to the fish, and the hook's available for the fish to connect themselves onto. Now, if you're on your own boat and you don't want to carry squid and cut it up all the time, because once you use it, you have to throw it away, because this stuff will get bad. You have to refreeze it. You can always get our magic squid strips. This stuff's already been cooked and cured. It comes in different colors. This is how it looks here. And once you use it, just put it back in the container. Never have to refrigerate it again. Well, that's this week's tip of the week. I'm Dan Hernandez, hoping you enjoyed this week's episode of Sport Fishing, and I hope you join us again next week when we go looking for more of the best in sport fishing.